to repeat some task. For example, now you go to a bank. If you withdraw, in some cases after you've withdrawn, you still want to like recharge to your let's say your phone. So you want to perform another task again. With loops, you can do it over and over and over again. And then functions is just okay, I'm going to do this thing like 100 times, and sometimes it might not be with the same data value. So I want to like change it. I want to be flexible enough. Function would enable you do that. It will make you become flexible. With functions, you can take different types of value. It can be one, two, three, four. So that's it. Then decision making in code. Today you will learn how programs think. Quick question. Can a program make decision? What am I going to ask for this one? Can a program make decision? What will I ask? Chisholm, Chisholm, can a program make decisions?
Mm, I think so. Yes.
You think so? Why do you think so?
Mm, I believe. I believe anything you put in, is going to like. I don't know how to
So,
put it, but I know it can.
okay, does it just make decision itself
No, you'll be the one to like give it a command.
for it to make decision? Unscripted.
Yes.
What about you? Unscripted. Okay. What about you, Chamu?
I think it can't make a decision. You give the command and it executes.
If you give it command, don't you think you can give it command to make decision?
Yes, I can give it a command to make the
To make a
decision.
decision, right? Yeah. So the first question: can a program make decisions? Yes.
Yes.
Or does it just make decisions? No. You give it the command to make decisions. Even AI can just there's this thing they call general. That's one of the categories or types of AI. They call it general AI. That part is where AI can do things by itself without. This is not the supervised unsupervised part of things. Now this is AI doing things beyond those conditions that they've given to it. So people are still trying to do that. And if they actually eventually get it, it means AI would have a mind of its own. I don't think any of us would pray for that time because anything will make AI get mind of its own. Don't be for all of us. So like this now, me we don't insult AI, say you are mad, you are stupid. He does the extra bomb give me. I don't like that. So let's not pray for that time. Warm up scenario, more questions again, because this one is going to be let's try and make it very, very interactive. So I need you guys to like throw in your questions, answer questions. You get let's vibe with it. So you try to withdraw 50,000 naira, but your account has 2,000 naira. What should happen? Two options here. Give money, you give the money anyway, or you reject the transaction. What would happen? You guys did cybersecurity class today. What should happen in such scenario as the able software engineers that you guys are like the lots in program. What should happen?
Yeah, should be
I think you should break the transaction.
You should reject transactions. Why don't you want to give them the money? I want to withdraw 50 and my account I only have 2,000. I will say a miracle now. It's not God. God did.
because that amount is not there now.
Chamo. So we
Sir?
reject the transactions.
Yes, sir.
All right, makes sense. Makes sense. But you know there is glitch. That's another part again. That's another part. There's what they call glitch. There's this one that happened. Was it last 2 years with Flutter, Wave, and Money Point? If you guys remember, where they blocked the third beneficiary's account, they locked all their accounts. They because they suspected a glitch from their backend system. So now another quick question. This is to Daniel. Is Daniel, are you with us?
Yes, yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Who decides this, front end or back end? Like who decides this scenario? You want to withdraw 50,000 naira, but your account, what you currently have is 2,000 naira. So who decides this kind of logic, this situation, and say, okay, this should not pass, this should pass? Is it the front end or the back end?
Someone should say
I
something.
think it's the front end.
The front end. Interesting. Explain to me. Why is it the front end?
Why I said I think end is because front end, I think that is where you do the coding. Like give your this thing command, like let's do some amount. I don't know. There's a way you set it that if this person doesn't have like this 50,000 now, should reject it. I think those are the part of the codes that you have to code in your front end system. Like those people can code. I don't know.
I think that we're
I
missing
think it's
it.
the back end.
Any other person before I come in?
His back, his
For me, it's
back
the back
end.
end, sir.
Back end is meant to be in
Okay,
that
yeah,
state.
give
Yes, the front end will ask the back
oh,
end
okay,
if it will carry on, like
okay,
if this guy really have that amount of such amount of money in his balance. So, and if the back end
okay.
says no, the front end won't give access.
Wait, yes, I do love people like you, but
Uh,
I'll
can
eat
I talk?
whatever the top
Cool,
comment tells me to.
cool.
Can I talk?
Yes, come in. Unscripted.
I'll eat
It is the
whatever the
back end
top
that
comment
is
tells me
for that this thing. Because the front end is just representing the graphical interface of the action. But the real solution is the back end.
Okay, cool, cool. Now,
I'll eat
Chisholm,
whatever the top comment tells me to.
Yeah,
let
I'm with you,
me,
sir.
let me share. Um, so, can you see this screen? This board, my normal board. Can you guys
Yes,
see
I
it?
can. Yes.
All right. So look at it now. This is that front end guy. The front end is dealing with just two things majorly. In fact, that is it. It should never go beyond that. What are the two things? The user interface and then the user's experience, UX. So the user interface is what you are seeing. Like this screen you are seeing now, you are not seeing the interface, you are seeing this board. But the logic there,
Mm-hmm.
the backend, the logic, the business logic, let me put it that way, is always happening at the back. The back end is what will retrieve data and send to the front end. You get. So the username, the user's age, the user's wallet balance or the account balance, everything is coming from the back end. The front end is going to make an API request to the back end. Then the back end inside of it, now let's say depending on the kind of architecture it is using, would fetch it from the database. This is my database drawing. Don't mind my drawing, or example database drawing. So this is my database drawing. It will fetch it, and then the router would send back the response back to the front end, and then it will update the state of the user interface. So what you'll be dealing with if you are doing the front end is majorly state. What is the current state of the account? State is just your variable, all those values you have. Say for example, now in this particular question, the user is having 2,000 naira. That's their current state. And they try to withdraw. In the input that is asking them for amount they want to withdraw, they now go and put 50,000 naira. Now, what the user interface can do as like based on security is like try to validate that input, make sure that they're not sending a kind of backend script that would go and tamper with our database. You get, that's one of those security that the front end will do, but it has nothing to do with the amount, because once you make the API request, the API request will go with amount is 50,000 naira to that user, the user ID. Then it will go to the back end, and then the back end will check. One of those check, it is you as the back end engineer, as a software engineer, that will do that back end check and say, okay, if the user amount is less than the withdrawal amount, you will do the what? You tell them invalid amount. You cannot withdraw. You don't have so amount. Do you understand
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So the back end is the one that will do that stuff, not the front end. The front end is just the user interface, the user experience. Just how fast will the page load? You get, what are you showing the user? Can they scroll on it easily so it won't like disturb them? Those are the things that the user is just doing. There's nothing more for that one. So let's move on. Backend is a decision making machine. In the backend, every business logic, you are building a product, if it's an e-commerce, if it's a financial app, name the kind of product you are building. Every business logic, business decision is going to happen at the back end. Everything is going to happen at the back end. You are the ones you are the one who will protect the business data. Say at all, you hear production is down, one thing is down, Twitter is down, this one is down. Everything is from the back. If the back is not giving you any data, it's as good as useless. It's just static. It's not dynamic enough. You understand? So every backend system constantly decides allow or deny, accept or reject, continue or stop. You get. So what happens if a backend makes wrong decision? For example, wrong bank transfers, free purchases. It happens. There are some very very bad and have it, so it will still hold happen. What happens? I want to very bad backend code that you can do. What would happen to such, so now such a scenario? Chisholm, then who else is in this call? Manifests. Chisholm go first, so manifest will go next. What
Okay.
happened?
The
I've
question is,
actually given you
what
an answer.
happens?
It's yes.
Okay.
If back end makes
If
wrong
back
decision.
end. Okay. Then I think it will we'll call it probably automation or maybe hacking something because or maybe they didn't program it well. That's what I can
Then
just
you can type manifest.
that's
Okay.
what I can
Okay.
just
I want you to let's make this thing interesting. No, we will not pressure ourselves. Let's enjoy the class. Now make I put am that way. So think through it. Like think of a scenario. For example, look at the examples here. Wrong bank transfers. What happens if you make a wrong bank transfer? Or what happens if you are meant to buy a goods for 20,000 naira and of a sudden they did not deduct any money from your wallet and it is telling you delivery in progress? What happens? You said
what
it already. Like
happened
you said, I
what
want you
happened would
to
be
like.
that there's like probably they've hacked the site or something because is to me I feel like all these things are already programmed. So if
Okay.
back end now is having that kind of issue, then probably
Yeah.
there is someone has tampered with the coordinations or the coordinates, how do they used to say it? Ehen.
Okay. Yeah, manifest. The money will be reversed if the backend system catered for that one. Now we're talking about a loophole where there's this scenario where let me give you one now. There's what they call idempotency, where you make a first transaction and let's just assume Nigeria happens to that transaction. How does Nigeria happen to it? Your network failed and that transaction showed error in your side because of network error. But on the back end system, the transaction has actually taken place. Do you understand? The transaction has taken place on the back end system, but you on the front end, you are seeing network error because actually that's what happened. Network failed. You understand? Now, the backend failed to cater for that kind of situation where each transaction has a specific ID from that IP address. So if the user makes another transaction again, like instantly on that same transaction, the same ID and everything at that same time, it will flag that user and tell them, oh, you already made this transaction already. You understand? So instead, but the problem there is the backend did not check for that kind of situation. Now the same backend system we deducted the amount again two times, and then you have you do not remember you've not heard of cases where somebody will say they debited them twice.
Yes, it
You've not
happens.
heard
Yeah.
of you hear that they debited them twice, and you be like, they debit you twice. They start calling the customer care, and those guys are like, yes, we'll talk to you, we'll transfer the call to our technical team, and blah 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 like that. But we all know what is going on. The backend system has failed to like check for that scenario. I'll give you another one again.
So we can't hear you.
In Lagos, ticket up because there's this of the deal scheme. So we're meant to pay 5,000 naira for the ticket. You get. Then I purchased this ticket, but my phone, because my phone does not have good RAM, like my phone does not have a good RAM. So
So your network is breaking.
so after making the transaction on Kuda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, okay. So where did you get to? Like which part did you hear last? So I know where.
Like, okay, when you said your phone does not have a good RAM,
Okay, good. So my phone does not have a good RAM. Like I don't know how these guys did because I not get money. I go do pay letter, all those easy buy stuff. So let's say those guys don't go tamper with the operating system. So it's doing anyhow. Now, if I switch from CUDA back to Chrome, there's always going to be like a network issue. There's going to be it's going to freeze the app. Like it would disconnect me from that app. It look as if I'm reloading the page. And the way they built this their interface, the payment gateway for Paystack is it look as if it is reloading again. Like I want to do another transfer again. Me that have paid that kind of money, 5,000 naira no be small money. You're telling me to now do what? To now pay that same money again. So at the end, I did not get the ticket. Like the ticket did not come to my mail because from their own side, the web hook is going to notify the event of that so user has made a payment, and then since the web hook would tell them, will notify them, they themselves would now send me a ticket and say this is your ticket for this event. But that did not happen because of the network issue. So do you know what happened now? All the event organizers, because the same complaint was happening with a lot of people who want to buy the ticket, they now have to start reporting both Paystack and event up. It was like 3 days or 4 days later, this guy sent me an email that this is your ticket. Ticket I purchased like how many days ago. So if it was an emergency kind of thing, as it the person has died, you get. So this kind of situation should actually be like it should be fixable. It's not like they are the first people to like do any event kind of situation. They should actually have scenarios like worst case scenario that can happen. So that's one of those things. Like the money would be deducted, yes, but what if the backend system is that bad that it did not account for that kind of scenario, and then that is it, it is gone. Like the money is gone. Start hearing excuses. So let's move forward. How does system decide? Example flow. Receive input check, you check the conditions, you decide the outcome. That's the decision. You're making a decision. What happens if the amount for withdrawal is greater than the amount you have in your balance? You want to decide an outcome, then you return backwards a response. So what must exist for decision to happen? Condition must exist for decision to happen. You must have different conditions. You want to organize a party. A party meant for plus 18. So you need to have like conditions to make sure that whoever is registering for that party must be above 18 or must be 18 and above. Do you understand? So if you don't like have situations for that, a lot of things would happen. A lot of things would go wrong. What is a condition? Now we're going to the interesting part of things. You think of a condition as a situation where you check for something. You check if it is either true or false. You get? Am I teaching? True. That's a condition. What happens if I'm teaching? That's another an event that would happen based on the condition. So say if I say age is greater than 18, is that always true? Chisom, are you 18?
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I said, are you 18? No.
I'm actually 16.
Okay, come on for you. Chamu, are you 18?
No, sir, I'm not 18.
So everybody, the age is dynamic, is generic, is different from other people's age. Everybody is not having the same age. Unscripted like this now can be 300 years old. That's his age. Then Chamu can be like the name. You know, see that L, any name with L. You know, they like Italian mafia. El Chamu now can be, who knows, 500 years old. You
He's
get?
very old. He's very old.
He's very old, exactly. So
Yeah, now the same age we share.
So you guys get that one. So the first condition example, remember this is like a theory section, but I try to make it interactive because on Thursday we will like code like say our head won't come out. You get. So first condition example, age is 20. Let me quickly ask you guys a question. Who remembers what a variable is? Let's see. Who remembers what a variable is?
In a normal sentence, a variable is a
Which one?
temporary
Which one
storage.
is a normal sentence? Which one? Did I give you abnormal?
No,
I
no,
not give you
I don't want to.
abnormal
I don't
now.
want
Which
to
one
use
be
your. I
a
don't want to
normal?
use your own type of technical.
No, mine is
Because the
not
way
even
you
technical. I only said it's a reference to data in memory if I remember it well. So you see, it's not technical. That's straightforward for you to like remember. So what is a
okay,
variable? Manifest is typing. All right, let's see.
it's a temporary storage that store data as value.
Oh, all right. So variable stores data temporarily. All right. Okay. A variable stores any data type. All right. Okay. As time goes on, our idea will change with that. Sha. So look at this now. Age is pointing to 20. If age is greater than or equals to, now these two conditions here. The or is making it is either the first one or the second one because there are two conditions here if you look at it. It is either age is greater than 18 or age is equals to 18. Do you understand? So if age is greater than 18 or age is 18, then you print aloud. So now a question is, what if age is 10? What happens? What if age is 10? What will happen if age is 10? What happens if age is 10?
It will restrict access. It won't go.
Access denied.
It will access denied. Read this code like a programmer that you are. Like, look at the code now. The first line, age is 20. Then the second line is setting a condition that if this condition is true, then you want to execute this block, which is the print allowed. But what if it is not true?
Disallow.
That
It's
means
going to
we are
say
going to
error
use S
now.
statements. S
Syntax
statements there.
or integer error, something like that.
If you guys say error, this is not actually an error logically. It's actually not doing anything. Like it's just there. You did not give it a condition. You get
There's
the
no
system
S
does not have a
statement there.
command for you to do anything
Okay.
again. So it's just there.
Disallow or block.
But they carry this thing far. Just when you said
Uh, the,
error, like look at it now. If age is greater than or equals to 18, now it's just like I'm telling you if there is rice, buy me rice. But if there's no rice, you come back now. It's not like it's an error now, Abby.
Yes, yes.
Do you
Okay, it's
understand?
going to
So it's not
allow
like
it. It's going to allow it.
it's going to ignore. Like that's the end of the execution. Look at you only wrote three commands here now. The first one is setting age to 20. Then the second one is checking for the condition. And then the third line is inside of this condition block should in case the condition is true. So that is if age is 18. Now we now ask a question, what if age is 10? So if age is 10, 10 is obviously not greater than 18 and is not equals to 18. So it will ignore this particular block of code and it won't do anything else because we did not set any other type of condition. We did not say, okay, if the age is below 18, we want to do something else. You guys understand?
Yes,
Okay,
because you did
so
not give any
the
Now,
explanation.
technical term for it is ignore.
Yeah, it's going to end the task there because this is going to be like your line, your file that you write your code, and then there's nothing else to do there. And then unscripted said something. It said if you add a else statement, you get if you add a else statement, you say else. Now you are giving it another condition. Okay, if this scenario does not play out, I want this scenario to play out. It's just like playing dice. What is the probability that you get a six? You get so you have like six conditions there. If the user rolls the dice and gets one, maybe you want to give them 1 point, you get. But imagine it was just one part of the dice. Like you have just one part of the dice, like a flat dice. It's not going to give you error in this case. But if you want to get for that kind of situation now, you now say, okay, I'm getting the user's age, and then the user is putting AP instead of putting numbers, it's putting like an alphabet. You can now check for that kind of situation and say, else, tell the user you are stupid. Why did you put an alphabet instead of a number? You can make your programming more fun. I've tried that thing before, but I cannot try it now. Now, people money, they don't go cost me. So let's
now,
move on.
so what if
Yeah,
you put the condition that says if the age is below 18, what's going to be the technical command for it instead
if
of
the age
ignore?
is below 18, yes, so we'll get there, we'll get there. This is the first part, this is like your first condition. So you now ask yourself, what if you have multiple conditions you want to set? How do you do it? And you've asked that question, so we'll get there. You get. So look at it, we've gotten there now. So this is another condition, another situation. Like this now is like your coin. You either get head or tail. That's this kind of condition you're having now. You either get head or tail. So we want to add else. If the age is greater than or equals to 10, we'll say you are allowed to attend the party. Else, this else is a small letter, it's not capital E. This is just a slide. So this is in small letter. Else will print what? Not allowed. So if age is 10 now, what will be the output? Channel.
If else is what?
Not allowed.
If age is 10, if age
Okay,
is 10, now what will be the output?
not allowed.
Not allowed. Do you get? Do you get
Yes,
it, channel? Do you understand it?
I understand it.
Okay. Okay. So this else is should in case everything else fails. So this is our go-to condition. We'll say, okay, if this age is not greater than or equals to 18, we want
If you did not see rice, buy beans.
in this generation at this current time, and then your father is trying to attend, like, bro, does not make sense. Sure, you get. You're trying to like
If you did not see rice, buy beans.
you're trying to organize a house party night. Imagine you're organizing an house party and then someone who is at the age of 40 is trying to attend. You don't want such situation, you don't want such scenario. You only want people in your age grade. Let's say you want people from 18 and above down to 30 is still partyable. Like you want them from 18 down to 30 or say 35 max. You don't want someone who is 50, someone who is 50 to come to your to your house party. Na sugar daddy vibe na wan go do for there. So you get now. So that one would now take us to quick question before we go forward. Does Python run both lines? Does Python run both lines?
What do you mean by both lines?
Yes, it's on both
Yeah,
line.
will Python run it run both line? Oh yeah, explain, give me. You get it I don't know.
Because
Explain, give me.
if an input
I
is
don't hear
put
you.
there, if there's an input there, if it is greater than, it runs the first one as true. Then if it is below the distance, it runs it as false.
Oh, okay. This okay. That is where you understood the question. That was not
Wait,
actually
please
the
let
way
me
I
prevent
was
this thing.
asking the question. My question is: will Python run the two
Let me
lines
cover my head close.
simultaneously?
Okay, you mean if the age is actually greater than 18 and
No,
if
no.
it
This is
is
not.
not?
This is not if the age is like will Python run print allowed, not allowed
No, no,
together.
no. It
No,
would
no, no, no,
it
no, no.
only
It's only
obey
run
one
one.
command.
Nice, nice, nice. So you guys get the gist of logic there. So it either runs one of them because it is a logical statement, right? So we understand that part. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Adele, do you understand? Because I saw you were typing before and you did not type again. Is it Adele that say yes? Adele, are you the one who responded now? We won't talk.
I was one that answered now, myself and some
Okay, can
other
you
persons.
guys? Okay, the one I was asking. I was asking Adele if she's with us. Anyhow, my network is actually going up and down. So hope you guys can hear me. Please bring me to my attention. Should in case the network does the normal thing. That's our network now. A special network. Now we get. Okay, brain trick question. Look at the question and tell me what print. First to answer. First to answer. Ask 3 points. I'll give that person 3 points. Don't worry, the 3 points will be used later. So tell me,
Not adults.
who is answering? Who is answering? Who is answering?
It's me, sir, not adults, teacher.
Not adult.
Why is it
Not
not adult?
Because it's
because
not greater than
the is not greater than
Chamo,
is assigned as it.
because it's not greater than 18, sir.
best to answer is getting 3 points. If you don't know what 3 points is, don't worry. Till you see
The answer is not allowed because the condition is just only given greater than, not greater than or is equal to.
because it's not greater than 18, what 3 points is. That's
Yes,
that's not valid to me. That's not valid to me. It's not valid to me. There's a reason. I need a reason. I need a valid reason.
because the assigned variable is
No,
18.
Mr. Solomon, what's the
Think,
18.
question?
think, think, think. That's they call it brain.
Because Python can only print one
I
So Python can only
What's the
carry
question?
one.
look at the screen. The question is there, Chiso. Look at the screen.
To me now, the
You guys
variable
have not
assigned
given
to
me a reason why it is not adult.
If age
to
is
the
less
age
than
is
18.
18. So he's speaking is
So it's not
referencing
going
from
to be an
that
adult now.
variable.
The command is 18. So if age is greater than 18, it's going to be adult rather. Sorry.
No, it's not adult. It's not adult.
I like as na the drag is adult. Is not adult. Is
It's
adult.
not adult.
I'm
Hello,
an
sir.
adult too. Please, oh.
Hello, sir.
It's not adult.
Hello.
I dey hear you manifest. I dey hear you manifest.
Check chat now. I've answered the question since.
I know,
Check the chat. I've answered the question.
I don't read down. You said not adult now. Everybody is saying not adult, but I'm asking why.
Yeah,
It's
the
the
reason
why
why
I
is not
want. And
the reason the,
Chamo
re-
was even close, but that's not what I want him to
the
say.
reason why
My
is not
3 points not
an
easy. Oh yeah.
is not an adult is not an adult is because
Uh,
the age is assigned to like 18. 18 is assigned to the variables. So he's going to reference it from that this to give us the answer. But this
my guy doesn't speak technical grammar. You want to blow us with technical grammar. You want to use wuru to the answer. They say answer. They give you 5 questions, answer 4. You don't understand any 4. You can't form your own question. Give yourself answer. Now it's you only run
you
from
don't
this
catch me,
guy.
you
You
don't
are
catch
a
me.
criminal. They don't teach now cyber security, Abi. Okay, so Chamo, you were close to it. I'll give you a 2. I'll give you 2. So the reason why I said
Yinka,
your
Yinka.
stuff was not like no. You guys did not say what I wanted to say. Look at it. If you go back to the previous example, it was if age is not equals to or greater than 18. So look at it now. This part is omitting the not equals to. You see it now. So age is obviously not equal to 18. Some people would miss this part and say, oh, 18 and 18, and say, okay, 18 should go as adult like that. So I was looking for you to say that part of not equals to, like age is not equals to 18. I get 18 is obviously not greater than 18. So that's why it's not going to print the adult part. So I needed you to explain that part well to me. That age not being equals to 18. That's why 18 is not going to print for that part there. So Chamo has 2 points. The 2 points is going to come in handy later. Write it down. Oh. Remember yourself, oh, because it will be needed later. Don't worry, you understand why that 2 points matters when it comes out based on what we are building in depth. So
Thank you, sir.
let's move on. Let's move forward. So comparison operators. Comparison operators. What is comparison? What is operators? What is comparison? What is operators? What is comparison? What is operators? Oh yeah.
uh, Operators is they are the probably like addition, minus, division, and multiplication. Whereas comparison is comparing something with one another.
Okay. I'm seeing one manifest is writing equals to is an operator. Okay. So what is the comparison? What is the operator? I know we know equals to is an operator. We know this other part, the second to the last is not plus there, please. That's equals to actually, not plus. So comparison greater than equals to this guy. Now you know the kind of Arabic way they write for here because now that language you write to. See na cave language with this. So comparison operators. These are operators you use to compare two conditions or two values. You get. So look at the different comparison operators we have. We have double equals to, which will check for two values if they are the same. You are checking if name equals to 20, name one age one equals to 20 is the same as age two equals to 20. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, nice. So not equals to is the exclamation and the equals to. It means if value one is not equals to value two, you are just checking for each conditions like that with those operators. Then you have your greater than that you know of. You have the less than that you know of. You have the greater than equals to, not greater than plus. Please, you guys should take note of this and change it. Greater than equals to, and you have the less than equals to. Note, greater than equals to is having two conditions attached to it. It is either greater than or it is what equals to. So, like that former example now that tricky question, if we had placed greater than equals to, what would have been the output here, Chiso? Let me see if you get 1 point. If age greater than equals to 18, what would be the output here?
The answer would have been adult.
Why? Why?
I don't know the English now. But I know
From
it
the
should have
English,
been
from the
also.
English, from the English.
If it was
You
greater than
miss
or
out one
equals to
point.
18.
You have missed out 1 point. God's Bonnie Dale. Okay, let's give a Bonnie Dale this time. Adele. Man, not forget that your name.
Una give me now.
You calm down. No worry. Other questions they come. Cham will get two already. So how this one again? My network is as usual. Your network dey always frustrate you, this lady. God, let's say now you be the real Nigerian among all of us here. Okay, since no one wants to, Emmanuel, let me unscripted. No worry, your own go come.
Sorry,
Emmanuel,
but I just answered it now. Why you not giving my point? I got it.
you did not give me a why. I like why. That's why I did not give Chamo the full one. I need a why, like a why that is convincing enough. It's not just how. We know that it will run, okay, you get, but you need to know why it does that. Why is it working? That's the reason why you are here. You are here to learn the why, not just how. How is normal. You can learn how anywhere. You go to YouTube or just ask AI. But the why is what I want from you and everybody here. So, unscripted, oh yeah, take this one, take this shot, shoot your gun.
The result is adult because the age is equal to 18.
Because age is equals to 8. Please, you guys
Yeah,
should clap for this guy now. Clap for this guy now. Now, not go clap for now they jealous. So, he has 1 point. Write it down, oh. Daniel, if you can help me put them down for those points. So once the system is up, they know that they already have their points based on these things that they answer to. At least put the award points they go. Don't worry. By the time you see the ranking system, you guys will understand where this point is coming from. So let's move on now. Rapid fire. Quick question. So what checks equality? What checks equality? Quick one. What checks equality? Which of the operators, the comparison operator, checks for equality?
the equal to sign.
Rapid. The equals to sign. Equals to sign is one equals to. So is it double equals to?
Double is equal to.
Double anyone you pronounce it there, correct. So quick one. Which checks not equal?
The second option,
Not
sir.
is equal to sign.
The second option, nice. Then the third one, which includes the number
Have you
itself.
done that thing? It has not yet gone. Yeah, I can still send it to.
Like I don't get.
Which includes the number itself.
Greater than or less than?
No.
Let's move
I,
on.
no.
So back-end scenario now. So you are a back-end engineer working with Wema, and then you want to build a banking system. Then you want to assign, let's assume, because this code you are seeing on the front there is just doing one thing and one thing alone. And you can see how interesting this thing is. So there's error in this stuff actually, but let's assume this is a real code now. So the question, are you guys seeing the code? Because I would ask the question now.
Yes.
Are you seeing the code? Yes. So what happens if we remove the double equals to? What happens if we remove the double equals to?
It won't work because it will think we are assigning a variable to.
No, remember we've removed the double equals to now. So what do you think would happen?
I
If we
think
do the double equal to,
Mhm.
that means it's not going to work.
Someone, anybody? Yeah, I think everybody agrees that it won't work. But what happens? You know what you guys should do? Anybody can quickly run this is it to make it interesting. Anybody should run it on their system and check what happened. So before that, not to waste our time actually. So what would happen if you remove the double equals to? That's a syntax error. That's a syntax error because you're expecting when you are doing like you are comparing two values like this now. You now remove this double equals to. It's just like say if password 1234. Like that's not Python wise. Like that's syntax error. Python does not understand that kind of syntax. You see red, you see the red error telling you made a mistake somewhere and you try to correct the logic. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So another tricky one again. Salary is 10,000, age is 20. If age is greater than 18 and salary is greater than 5,000, print allowed, loan approved. So what must be true? What must be true?
Both of
Will it
Give
them
print?
was
conditions.
What do you say? Both of them must be
true.
both of them must be true.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. So if you put all, what happens if you put all?
One can be true and one can be false.
Okay,
Let's in a discrete
makes sense.
structure with a
Now,
good today.
You said what?
with the way the thing they go by, now probability now. So
Yes,
look
sir.
at this thing where now. Look at it, the and all. This is condition. Like there are plenty that would make you want to have this kind of condition. And I like this part because you can actually think of it now. Chamo, for example. So imagine say two of us stay in room like this now. And I actually feel can send you message. I can't say, Chamo, help me reach this woman shop for front. Help me buy rice and beans. Wetin you think say I talk to make you do?
Make I buy both rice and beans.
I say go to this woman. God bless you. So you see how that one works on the hand part there. So it means you must buy both rice and beans. Like the two of them must be there. So now tell me what happens if you don't see one of them? You don't see beans. What happens?
Then I will just come back without
What
buying
will
the
you do
rice.
if you don't see beans?
I'll come back without buying
God
the
bless
rice.
you. You come back without buying rice because the instruction given to you was buy me rice and beans. So you see the hand, you see where hand is working in that case. Now, and I say, okay, another day I say you should go help me buy food again. And I said, Chamo, help me buy rice or beans. What do you think that
Anyone
means?
that is available between rice and beans.
God bless you. So anyone that is available between rice or beans is what you should buy. So if the woman have rice and she does not have beans, you will buy. If she have beans and she does not have rice, you will buy. You get. So that's how the and the or works there. So like this one now is having two strong situation. If age is greater than 18, you get, and the salary is greater than 5,000. So that's two things there. Age obviously is greater than 18. Age is 20, and then the salary is what 10,000. So you can approve their loan for them. You understand? Chisom, do you understand? Mario, not serious. Chisom, do you understand?
I'm lost.
Manifest, how
I'm
far?
lost. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Where did you lose? Let's find you.
No, I'm not. I understand what you just said though.
Eh, share the smoke. All right. Manifest, any question? Unscripted, any question? Daniel, any question? UCJ. All right, please, any question? Bring it to my notice, please. Like, draw me
So
back.
so So
you
in
get
this in
any
this
question?
in this
Yes.
case now,
Mhm.
what we call and operator, is it like a function operator or what do we call it there?
It's a keyword. Yes, thanks for
Oh,
asking that question actually. Thanks for asking that question. And is a keyword. Or is a keyword. Python has and or. I think this is one of those things that make people say Python is human readable. You hear them say Python is human readable. It is English wise. Like if you look at this thing, there's no way. Forget it. Let's say you are one of the worst programmer in the world. Like you look at this thing, there's no way you would understand what is actually going on here. Like you can read it like a normal, like as if you are reading normal English. You get. You can read it like you're reading normal English. You just see if and is greater than 18 and if age I mean is greater than 18 and salary is greater than 5,000. Then you check age. Age is 20, is greater than 18
Again.
and salary is 10,000, is greater than 5,000. Then you get that logic there. So you see, that's one of the builds in Python. It's human readable. You just read it like you're reading English and you understand it. So, any question? No. Logical operators. So these are the keywords you see in Python. You see and, you see or, you see not. The and, as we've said, both must be true. The or, one must be true. Like one is true. Then the not is reversing. Now this is another tricky question. If not false, what will be the output? Will it run? Will it print anything? What will it print? Let me see what I'll give another 1 point.
Like, can you repeat that question?
It is here. The question is on your screen. Like
I'm
it's
coming.
clear. If not false, print run. Will it run?
If
uh,
not
I'm
false,
sure some
it's
people,
going
your
to
brain is just going like,
it's
oh
as
yeah,
long
now.
as as long as it's not as long as it's not forced, it will run. So.
I think it's going to reverse.
Oh yeah, reverse flash. You guys should tell me why.
no, it's
Why?
not
Give
running.
me an answer, then tell me why.
Because
It's
the
not running. Why?
The- because
because the if
we are not giving it
condition.
a like a variable, like okay, for example now we said if salary is equal to 50,000 and this one is, you have to like the both, you have to like have something both in common, like two something to compare it
Now
with.
you just said okay, it's not there. I'm still
Because the if
Sir,
take
because the
you
if
to
condition
convince me.
sir, be- because the if condition
Yes,
must be
yes.
false for it to run.
Must be four to run.
Yes, sir.
Let me before
Sorry, it must not be false for it to run.
because we've not given
I
it a
think
like
I
a
think the
statement.
question is not complete.
It's not complete at all. It's not complete.
it's complete actually. It's complete. So calm down.
As long as it's
It's
not false,
complete.
it
If
will
not
run.
for sprint,
It must be false for it not to run.
Check the text. It's not.
but
What
sir,
does not
the
do?
operator name now is not even operator name is not there. We don't yeah, sha.
They said
What's happening?
false is a keyword in Python that is denoting if a boolean value is either false. You get. Wait, I see my showing disconnected here.
I can see your screen.
Uh-huh. Let me change screen again. Show me. I'm not seeing it here. Okay, so let's calm down, eh? In fact, I think next time if you guys are coming for this class, you guys should just be bringing like
Leave it
two
like
bottles
that.
water, so you guys will just drink and calm your mind down first. Eh? So let's take it one by one. First of all, not is doing what? Is
Document.
reversing a
How are we going to
case,
do
is
it now?
reversing a condition. Your condition usually executes if it is true. You
We use
get
this
a
thing
condition
abi.
must be
What do you
true
call it?
for it to execute. If you go back to all those questions we've been asking, like when they say age is not greater than 18, those things would always, like, you always execute that block of code once it is true. Like, it is true that age being 20 is greater than 18. True or false?
True.
It's true. So age is 20 and 20 is greater than 18. So that's true. That's why that condition worked. Like, look at the and here. And is saying both is true. Like when I gave Chamo that example of going to buy rice and beans. So that one is true. That is the reason why that condition executed. Now come back and look at this tricky question. You're expecting like a variable kind of condition, or you're expecting the comparison operator. Remember, not is part of the logical operator, and not is saying it reverses the condition from whatever it was, like from the state. And now false is in a state of falsy, is falsy at the moment. So they said not false. If you say not false and it's reversing, what will it become?
That's true.
That's true. So if true, what would happen?
It's going to run.
It's going to run.
Come on.
Manifest, do you understand? That's why
Excuse
they
me,
say it's a
I'm
tricky
lost.
question.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
That,
I'm lost.
yes, yes. Okay. Now let's go to our sweet drawing board and draw this one again. Maybe that one will help a little, maybe. So let me share that part of the screen. So let's clean this. Now you have a state, like you have a state that is false, and then you have one of those logical operators that is not. And what does not do? Not negates the condition. So if you have something that is true and you say not at the back of it, it becomes what? False. Do you understand? If you have something that is
Yes, sir.
true and you put not, it negates it from true to false. So if you have something that is false and you put not, it negates it from what? From false to true.
False to true.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what is happening in that case now. So it's negating it because the condition is saying if not false, what do you want it to do? Can you see?
Okay.
It's saying if not false. So it's negating false to true. Because remember,
Yes.
not is what is reverse. So if not false, meaning we already know that this not has negated false to true. So it becomes true here. And then if you read it normally, if true, what should happen? It means this condition is
Long.
true already.
Mhm.
So it will print wrong. Do you guys understand?
Okay.
Chamu, you've been quiet.
Yes, I understand. It's just like the if else statements. All conditions are true
Yeah.
except false.
Exactly. So in this case now, we know that a condition would only execute if it is true. That is from this if control flow. Condition would only execute if it is true. And it will not execute if it is false. Like when we said age was 10, age less than 18 was false. That's why that condition did not execute. You understand? So now this one is what is a true statement. So because a true statement will now print what? Wrong. Do you understand? So because a true statement will not print what? Run. So let's move on. Let's move on. So class challenge. Let's Can you write this thing? Can you explain this thing in plain English to me? Who can try? Who can try? So far it's just Chamo and unscripted. I have 2 and 1 point. Nice. Over 18 and as ID. Write the logic in plain English to me. Let's assume you are going to a party. Let's assume you are going to a party. Who
Okay.
can try?
For let's assume now that like a user is registering for jam stuff now. So there's a
Okay,
condition like
nice.
if you don't have NIN, this thing you are not unable to like register. And if you are not above, so you are below 18, but now they have already changed it to 17. So
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
that's what
Anybody
it just means.
else? Anybody else
Yes,
wants
sir.
to contribute to it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
I think it should be if age is equal to or greater than if is greater than or equal to 18 and has ID, it should print
okay,
the condition should be true or print this thing.
okay. You went straight to the programming part of it. Makes sense too. But I think the question I would say you failed the first one because the first one is straightforward. It's just saying if over 18. You don't say and 18. Like if
No,
you
I
say
said
over
and has
18,
ID.
no, and 18. Like you said over 18 or 18. Is that not what you said?
Yes, or equal to.
So I said in this case now they only said over 18. So I
Okay, I
would
didn't read
assume
it.
the over 18 is just greater than 18. You get like they don't care about you being if you are 18, they won't even accept you. They need people who are over 18.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's another one, another way to put it. Please, you guys should follow up with these things. Like try and contribute to UCJ. This is like the 100th time I'm calling you. Alright. So live coding section. Let me just show you guys a simple one here. Then you guys will let me read out whatever it is there because I will not be seeing it. Then I'll share my screen. Oh, okay, we will not see it. Let's see how we'll do it. Let's see how we'll do it. Let's see how we'll do it. This is week two. Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir. VS Code.
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Okay. So live demo since we'll be talking Python, let's show a live demo on it. Now the question here is saying what is the question asking again? Okay. Okay. So the question is saying ask age, we'll ask for the user's age. You know, we know how to get user input. Then we'll check eligibility. So this is it. Then the question will now be what if user enters test instead of number? Remember that stuff I told you guys about? And I said you can actually make your own stuff interesting. So we want to get the user's age, Abby. That's what they say we should ask. Then we'll check for eligibility. So we'll say enter age. Then in our code now, we're not saying if age is greater than 18, that's what we want to do. We'll now print what you are eligible. That is just what we're checking. Now, for us to check this thing where it's to now say else, let's just assume that this user, like this person that's trying to fill up this form, is actually a very stupid person. You get, let's assume the person is a stupid person. Because normally converting this one to int so that it will be a number. Normally, no, let me leave it as this one because this one will make it will scatter the code and we'll need try except. So we don't want that situation now. We only want to use else. So we cannot say print and say, are you dumb? We asked for your age and not character. So this situation is if the user is actually like very, 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 very stupid. So we can just run this one and say live demo. Please, are we together? If you guys can hear me, let me know.
Yes, sir, we can.
Oh, okay, nice. So now, Chamo, give me age
20.
20. What? Exactly. Wait first. Let's run this one and see. 20. Well, this one is already insulting me. Let's put 18 there. Am I running Python code? Oh, what is going on now? If age equals to 18, if age is greater than 18, so why is this one not working? Between instances of, oh,
Convert it to integer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was looking at it thinking Python does not have operator again. So look at what is going on now. If age equals to 20, as this guy has said now, so he's saying you are eligible. So age is what? 18 and is eligible. Now, this is where it would give us that nonsense now. Instead of the user writing a number and then we did something like AB, AD, or AB, then we run it. Now it's saying you are eligible. Why is it saying we are eligible for this one?
I guess because of the integer aspect.
Because of the integer aspect. So
Yes,
it's
at that
converting,
age.
it's checking for interesting. So it's checking for the type and actually not the different numbers. It's checking for the type and not the number. That's why it's saying you're eligible here, which should not be true because age, I get. I can explain why that stuff is actually doing that nonsense. If we put it this way, it will not give us the same thing. And this one is happening because this thing in your normal, what is the name for the axis stuff? This thing is printing it as age. AB is greater than 18, like the character is greater than 18. So how do we now check for this particular scenario? Since it's doing this thing by default, I think at this stage I'll say Python 2 is stupid. How will you be using axis to say age is greater than? So let's print the axis of age. Let's print the, how do you even print the axis? Um, is it int or axis? How do you print axis of age? ABS. No, not ABS. Axis. Let's print the axis of age. I want to see what it would print out here because this is actually crazy. So it's printing it as AB like that. Axis dot. Okay. Okay. So this one is saying if it returns a string containing a printable representation of the object but escape the non-ASCII. No, that's not what I want to. I want to print out the ASCII itself. If I print out the X, this one is just going to print X. If I print out the ID, this is going to be the ID of the object itself. And that's not what we want. This is not what we want because this one is checking, is making age greater than 18. And that's not what we want. I think this one is even a bad code already by itself. Alright, so since this one is not giving us what we want, let's use the other way around for this thing. Let's just make this thing an integer. And then if we make it an integer and use the if not eligible stuff there. If we put the and now, in this case, let's let's change this one back to 18. Okay, so 20 is saying 20 is greater than 18, you are eligible for this case. Then if you put something less than, let's say 10, it will tell us are you done. But this is not what we want. We want a situation where we put numbers, like alphabet inside of it instead of numbers. And the reason why I did not want us to use this one is because if you put A B here, we will not get to this else statement. Instead, it will give us an error that it cannot convert alphabet to integer. So it's giving us a value error that invalid literal of int base with base 10 AB. So it cannot convert AB towards to an integer, and that's not what we want. So since we know this one will give us that kind of error, we can use a try. This is something we'll use later. We'll explain what this try is. This is like checking your system and saying, okay, if this is going to give us an issue later, if it's going to give us an exception, that's this same value error we got. We now want to do what? We want to print this guy out. So now we will not use the same else to run that same thing again. We are now using this one to do that exact error. So if we get the error, any exception we have here, and say AB, you can see we raise would raise this kind of error. So let's clear it and say AB again with this one. Oh, value error. So why is it's still going to that same place and not giving us that same value error? Why is it not doing it at that time? Enter AB, int, input, invalid literal for int with base AB. This is a value error we want to raise. So why is it not raising it by itself? Then let's still print it out should in case.
Sorry, sir. Does this have something like catch, just like Java? Because I know Java also have this try.
Yeah, no, this one is not catch. Python's own is except. Like Java's own is JavaScript actually, but I don't think I've seen Java's own. JavaScript is try catch, while Python's own is try except. So raise value. I'm wondering why it is still pre instead of when I catch this error because now I'm catching the error here. That is that catch I'm talking about. I'm catching it here with the value error, and it should print what I'm catching it as, but it's not printing what I want it to print. So I'm wondering what is going on because it's printing its own error like this instead of my own error. This one is telling it invalid literal, of which we know that this was causing the problem, but it's still telling us that same stuff. So I'm wondering why it is not giving us the same error that we want it to raise. Let's see.
In Java, I think it's input mismatch exception.
In Java or JavaScript.
Java.
This thing is actually Java. I've not tried Java to even know what Java is doing there. So anyhow, let's just print this in as A. Since it does not want to print what we want, it just wants to print exactly what it is giving to us. And then I will need to now clarify this one my own self because now it's printing just exactly what we are printing here. But this is not what we want. And how do we override this stuff? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, wait first. Guys, it's good to calm down, right? Good. So we're not even catching the error to even start with. We were not catching the error to start with, guys. So we're not catching the error to start with. So we'll tell them the same stuff again. Are you dumb? Write a number instead. Guy, how did I miss that part? Well, it happened, Sha. Part of the coding with that. So you guys can see it now. So we're able to get the error. Are you dumb? Write a number instead. So the reason why that stuff happened is why we're having issues earlier was this age was outside here. So this try except is only going to catch this try keyword is only going to catch the errors inside of its block. And our condition does not have any error. The error is coming from this part here. This int that we did. Remember, your input is returning a string, and AB is a string, right? But your int here is converting that string to an integer. Like, let's say you are building a calculator. That's one example. But what happened here was AB is a character, is not an integer, and so int cannot convert like a character string instead of a number string. So that was why we got that error we got that time. And then we now did what? That's why we're getting value error. But for us to now get that error and then return a catch there, we'll put it inside of the try block. So that was where our error was coming from. So if you do your normal 20, you still get you are eligible. And then if you do the, let's say you write something different, you can always catch that stuff and say, are you dumb? Write a number instead. So this is just one part of it. Now let me go and switch back to this thing, then we'll move forward. Where is it?
So please wait and try age less than 18,
Okay, less than
like
18.
10.
Alright. So if age, so can you see it? Remember that time I told you guys that it will ignore because there's nothing happening again. Do you
Yes,
remember
sir.
when I said it will
Yes.
ignore? So there's actually nothing running again here. This is going to return false. So if it's false, it means this block of code will not execute. And if you look at it, there's nothing else again down, and there's nothing here. This except will only execute when there's an exception inside of this block. That's when this except will execute. When there's an exception inside of this block, that's when it will execute. So if you do 30, you're eligible. Then we can add restriction. One of the restriction, remember, that as ID. So we can say as ID and say false. As ID is what? False. So when I say and as ID, tell me what will be the output unscripted.
It's going to bring the wait. Hmm. If the age is 18, it's going to be true. Then if the ask is false, it's going to be true too.
If it's false, it's going to be true.
Yes. The ask ID.
As ID is false now, Abi.
Yes, but if it is, that's why I'm saying is if it is true, then if it's going to bring out, it's going to bring out false. No. Omo.
Oh, yeah, calm down and read code. Who else can help him?
Hmm. I'm trying to like, I don't know where to put this thing.
You don't know how you put it. Chamu, can you help him out?
So what's the question?
What will be the output?
Okay, let me see. Is question. I think it's going to show that your error is are you dumb? Write a number instead.
It's going to run for the ordinary age
It's
because
going to run
this
for the
and
ordinary age.
yes, but when it comes to this now, it is when the and operator has been added to it. When if age is equal to is greater than 18 and as ID, so it's
This one
means
tough.
it's not eligible.
Tough.
This one rough me.
Emmanuel, what about you? Is Emmanuel with us?
The
Okay.
syntax error.
As ID, as ID is false, Abi. Look at it now. As ID is false.
Yes, it's
Yes, sir.
false.
That's how it is supposed.
Okay. Then I said if age is greater than 18, and then let's assume we have age 20. So 20 is greater than 18. That one is true. But as ID is false, and remember what your hand is doing. What does your hand do?
Both statement must be
It
true.
combines the both conditions.
Must be true, right? So now what will
Yes.
be the output here?
It's not are you dumb?
What
Type
will be the
the
output
number
here?
you put.
Syntax error.
Are you dumb cannot print because I told you that anytime there's an exception inside of the try, that's when are you dumb would print out. Now there's no
Okay.
error. It's not like there's any error. We don't have any error here.
So
It's
it
not
will
going to print.
ignore.
You get?
To
We don't have
ignore.
any error here. It will ignore. Nice. It will ignore. So it's not like it's going to print anything for us. Then we say 20. So can you see it now? It will ignore because this is actually not true. This is not a true condition. So it will ignore it. Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Then let's try. I really want to see why that stuff did not work that time. That first one because that one is crazy for Python. That one would have made good example on what I was saying. So let's try it again. Then let me print out the axis of this age, and then we'll see if age is greater than 18. They will print eligible. Then else we'll say the same thing that we said that time. We want to say it to them. So I want to really see why it is printing eligible because when we did AP then, so expected a character here. Now this thing is expecting a character or is getting string as it is. So if you do CHR here, let's see. I want to see how this thing is actually going to work. Because okay, string object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Cool. So age is a string. ORD is getting string. Returns the Unicode point for one character. For one character string. Is AD not character string? AB. But what string? Two. Oh. So he's expecting one single stuff and he's getting that one is crazy. That one is crazy. Okay. So 97. I'm coming. Let's print this thing out. Please, can you guys hear me? I want to see how this thing is getting this stuff.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. So I want to see what is making it saying you guess it. ORDH. Okay. So let's see it. I really want to see what's going on. Why is this? So 97 and 98. 97, 98 will give us how many? 97, 98 will give us how many? That's
One, no, sorry.
that's what
190, 95.
aha. So
No,
you guys can see the nonsense. Why this thing was saying age is greater than age AB is greater than 18. So you see what it was doing here.
string.
Okay, now there's another sense to it. We can actually get this stuff. We can get this stuff. Probably, let's see if it will work that way. Let's see. So if let's see if it would work that way. I doubt. That's another way. Because I'm looking for something that is still saying eligible because of that same issue that we have there. But if you put this one as 18 here, and then we'll say int, nice, I'm saying int, then we convert this one to integer here. So what would happen? Good. Let's see. So we now go back to that same issue that we had earlier. Nice. So at the end, we could not still get that same thing there. And then we use the try except to get the same thing we wanted to do there. Now let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let me share my screen. Then we'll rush through it for that one. Alright, so if you need to print name 100 times, will you print it 100 times? Will you use print to print it 100 times, or what do we use? What do you think would be flexible enough for us to use? Anybody?
I think the word should be
I think
multiplied.
the word should be multiplied.
No, let's say we wanted to print a name
The
100 times, and the print is always printing, like it's always printing. We use print to print first name, second name, third name. Like imagine printing it 100 times with the print with one print with
looping.
print function. So instead, we would use what? We use a loop, as constructed as say. The loop repeats code automatically. So where do systems repeat things? When you send notifications, processing transactions, uploading student results, because you want to be doing them over and over and over again. So we have for loop. You check for particular stuff in range, like for an item in range. For I in range 5, we print I. The question, how many times will this run? How many times will this run? So you run it, will print it what 5 times, because this range is a built-in function, and it takes two arguments. Like it starts from 0 down to 5. So when you specify and say a range is 5, and you print I, it will print from 0. 0 is the first one down to 4. 0 is 1, remember. So if you do 0 to 4, that's how many times?
5.
5, yes. So it's starting from 0 down to 4, 5 excluded. So it will start from 0 down to 4, 5 excluded. So now look at this one. Since I said 0 is default, like 0 is default in range, it's always starting from 0. But now we are specifying that we want to start from 1. What do you think it will print?
Now it will print 4 now.
It will print 4.
4.
How do you
Yes.
think it will print 4? Why do you think it will print
Because
4?
I guess you said starting the range is starting from 0. So you've input 1 there.
Yeah,
Like
but now we
probably
are
you should over
specified that we are starting from 1.
yes, you override the
Then to
0. Yeah,
print,
start from 0.
you are wrong actually. Who can try? El Chamo. El Chamo, can you try? Chamo, can you try?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. What's the question?
What's the question?
Yeah, we said the range by default has 0 included in it. So if you start from 1, if you now include 1 as the starting point, and we know 5 is always excluded, what will you print?
It will print 6.
It will print 6.
6 k. How?
He said it's starting from 1 and 5 is
He said
excluded.
it's starting from 1 and 5
Uh-huh.
is excluded.
Uh-huh.
1, 2.
5 is excluded, meaning it's not inclusive. 5 is not
Yes.
inclusive. Let me rephrase it. 5 is not inclusive. So it will start from 1 to 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. wait. Hospital, what did you even say that time?
I said it's going to override the zero.
Uh-huh.
Then it's going to stop at 5.
Okay. No, it will stop at 4 and not 5.
Oh,
So
okay.
it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I said 5 is not inclusive.
Okay.
Chamu, 5 is not inclusive. So it will go from 1 down to 4 because the starting point, you give it a starting point 1. If you do not specify a starting point, the default is going to be 0.
So is that going to be 4 like that, not 5?
Yes, it's going to be 4. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So while loop,
Must the numbers be below 5?
your choice, depending on what you are building.
Okay.
Depending on what you are building. Now on Thursday, the Thursday is going to be more practical and more exercise. So you would see all these things in action better. All this one is just brain teaser, trying to like force your brain to think about them. Like this while loop now. The while loop starts the count from 0. Now counts is it less than 5? Is
Yeah.
count less than 5? Yes. So it will continue to print. Mind you, this count minus one you're saying is actually inside of this print. It's not outside like how you're saying it here. So this is wrong. You get. So what happens if we remove count plus one? If you remove count plus equals to one, what happens? It would enter infinite loop. So what happens if infinite loop runs on a bank server? Imagine an infinite loop runs on a bank server. What happens?
That's a problem because it's going to be consistently going on.
To consistently do what?
Be going,
It's
going, going, full stop.
going. Nice. So it will crash, it will overload, then you can even have system downtime, and nobody wants that one. So functions. Now let me explain functions to you guys. Chamo, are you sitting on a chair at the moment?
Yes, sir.
Yes. That chair is a chair. Did they write Chamo on the chair?
No, sir.
No. So it means someone else can come and sit on that chair, right?
Yes. Anybody.
Yes. So that chair is performing a function. It's performing a function. And the function is what? It's for people to sit on it. Now the space you see on that chair, the space you see on it there is what they call parameter. It's a parameter, it's a space. It's just like when you watch movie and you hear cover that parameter, cover that area. It's a space that can accept what any type of data to sit on it. So now you can come and sit on the chair. Maybe you have a brother who will sit on the chair, your sister will sit on the chair. So each of them sitting on the chair covering up that parameter. Then they call them what? Argument. They are called argument at that state. When they start using that stuff, like this one now, if you write a calculator once, now you need it in 10 places. I think that calculator analogy makes sense too because if you calculate once, you want to always calculate over and over and over again. You get, you don't want to just do it just once. So you want to repeat your calculation multiple times. So your chair too is doing the same thing. It's serving a purpose and it's meant for you to sit down on it. Like anybody can sit down on it again and again and again and again and again. So now you want to do something, you want to print, for example, let me share this stuff, this part of my screen. So you see this thing again. So let me know if you can see my screen, for example. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So imagine I'm printing hello, or let's say for calculator, let's say a calculator, for example, now we get num1 equals to 20, or let's even get the user's input like the normal calculator that we want to do. I would say enter num1, then num2 input, they would say enter num2. Then we say result. Let me do this. Then we say result is equals to num1 plus num2. This is exactly what we did that last, if you guys remember, the last
Yes, sir.
class. Now, look at this stuff. I can only do, I can do just one calculation, 20, let's say 20 plus 12. So I can just do this 32 stuff and that's it. But in the case where I want to do multiple calculations, will I now copy this code and come down here and come down here again like 3 times just because I want to do 3 types of calculations. So I'll do 20 plus 12, then I'll come here and do 42 plus 21, then I'll come here and do 34 plus 23. Like, bro, it does not make sense repeating. See, we've repeated this code like how many times now? 3 times. I see it. We've repeated the code 3 times. This is where a function becomes very, 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 very useful. Like, you repeat, you don't need to repeat yourself. You only just do what you call that block of code again and again. So we can have a function and say this is what calculator function that takes two parameter. Remember, the two parameter is taking is what num1 and then num2, num1, num2, and then we want to do what we want to print. We'll do result is equals to num1, num2 inside of this place here. You see it now. So we can help ourselves and then just copy this one if we want to do it this way. In fact, let's leave the part of parameters for now. I think we'll explain that one later because the one I wanted to do before would need a loop, but we don't want a loop for now. So now we just need to do what we can call calc once, call calc twice, call calc 3 times like this. Exactly. Remember the last one we did. So this is exactly the same thing, but you see it's lesser now. So we can do 32 and 12. We can do 43 and 12. We can do 23 and 45. So you see it now. We've done the same thing, but it has what less code now. We have just one function that does what that does addition calculation, and then we just called it 3 times. So that one is heavy. Ask your question. Ask your question.
I'm lost.
Yeah, for the this function part, we'll deal with it very well the next on Thursday. So it will make perfect sense for you guys. We'll deal with it next time. So function now is a reusable block. Why the company reuse code? To reduce bugs, for speed, and then for consistency. So when we do it again and again, we'll do it better on Thursday, where I would explain deep and would write a lot of codes for the what for the functions. Then the function example, def. This is not. This is actually wrong. This is a small letter. Def greet, then print hello. So does this code run automatically based on what you saw? Wait, I've not even shared my screen again. You guys did not tell me. I'm still showing my code, not the other one. All right. So can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So function is what is a reusable block. Function is a reusable block of code, like something you use over and over again, like your chair, for example. You use it again and again. Your spoon. Imagine you have 20 visitors. Will you now be buying one spoon for each visitor? Chamu, you buy one spoon for each visitor. Say you have
No,
20
sir.
visitors. Now you can, if you have money, you can actually do it now.
You
One
buy
spoon
am now.
per visitor that comes to your house. If Daniel visit you, give her one spoon. If Emmanuel visit you, give her one spoon. Maybe they carry the go house. So you repeat it again and again and again. But it does not make sense. That's the reason why you have one spoon and multiple people can use that spoon. So the spoon is what is reusable like that. You understand? Do you understand that
Yes,
part?
yes,
All
one.
right.
That's one.
So now function example. This is how to declare a function like the code you saw earlier. You do def, not capital D, small letter D. Then this function is just going to do what? It's going to greet a user and just tell them hello. You get. Now, quick question: does this code, like once you've written the code like this, will it run automatically?
I think so.
So sorry, my network has been disturbing me.
It happens. It happens. Live. Don't worry. On Thursday we'll do exercise. This exercise will cover what we've done today. So at the end, it's still the same thing.
I'm not sure it will run. It's not going to run
Why?
because there's nothing inside the parameters.
There's nothing.
Inside the parameters for that function.
I like that one, but it's wrong. Chamu, no
It's more
idea.
like we've not defined the variable.
We've defined it. We've defined the function, but there's one thing we are missing, and that's that one. Is that one thing that would make
That's
it not to
that's
run?
inputting your
I think it will
string.
ignore.
Of course, like if you have your file, you write functions. In a let's say you write five functions, you define five functions. Like what you are seeing here is function definition. That's what the DEF. DEF is defining a function. So we've defined a function. Your interpreter would actually not do anything here. It would ignore these ones because you did not call it. So the reason why it will not run is because you did not call the function. After you've defined a function, you need to call it. It's just like they made your chair for you. But if you did not buy it, nobody would use it, right? It will just stay there stagnant there in wherever they constructed it. Like your spoon. Your spoon, if nobody use it, if nobody asks for the spoon, you are not using the spoon, right? You guys understand that part?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Chamo, Chisu, and network has done the normal thing again. Chamo, do you understand? Chamo. See if Chamo is not
So sorry, I want to ask a
speaking.
question now. I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So in this case now, we are going to call
Go on.
greet instead of hello.
Yes, greet is printing hello. Now look at it. Greet has called hello. It has called the print. It called this print here. Look at it. So for you to access this print that this greet has called, you need to call the greet. You need to call greet,
So,
then greet will call print, and print will now do what? Print hello for
so
us.
in this in,
Do you
in this
understand?
case now, it's only going to override the def, then go to print statement, right?
Yeah, it will ignore it. It will just go straight to doing other things. Till you call
Okay.
this grid, will it perform what
Oh,
it wants you to perform?
okay. That was when you did for Cal, before the
Yes, when I
calculator.
call it 3 times.
Okay,
Yes, when
okay.
I did, I can call it 3 times because we needed to use it. You get. So look at. So what happens now if we call grid with no argument now in this case? Let's say we call this grid now and we not write any argument. What will happen?
We call greet with no argument.
What would happen?
So which means there's no parameter inside the greeting function, right?
There's a parameter. Look at it. Parameter is name. So it means
Name.
greet is expecting an argument. But we called it without any argument. So what would happen?
I don't know.
Okay. So So when you call a function that has a parameter, but you do not add any value in it, it will give you an error. It's expecting a parameter, but it got none. So, like in this case, tell you it's expecting one parameter, that is name, but it got nothing there. So we'll deal with this one once we get to the exercises too. We'll deal
Okay.
with this one once we get to the exercise. So the return type, this one returns a value. We'll deal with this one too. And then now question: what happens if condition is always true?
What happens if the condition is always
Yeah, what
true?
happens if a condition is always true?
It depends on what you are using it for. So that's why. Depends on what you're using it for. If you want the statement to be true,
You
then
don't get that one. What
yeah,
happens if a condition is true? If a condition is true, it will run now. That's just what happens. If a condition is always true, it will always run.
yes,
So what happens if a loop never stops?
that means it has been like is in infinity mode.
Yeah, infinite loop. So what happens? It crashes system and does a lot of things. So the
Yes,
fourth one, can program run without logic?
no.
A program cannot run without logic. Cool. Alright, so tell me what convinced you today? Conditions, loops. I know the topics, since they are new to you, there's a lot of things there. A lot of things, like a lot of information went into your head today for 2 hours straight. It's not easy. So tell me, what convinced you today?
I would say the loop function.
For loop,
Yes,
loop function,
yes. The for loop
the
and the
loop
while loop.
function. Okay, the loop part of things convinced you, confused
Yes,
you today.
yes.
It makes sense. That one is normal stuff. Once you do it more, like once you see the exercise and all those things, you start getting
All right.
to understand it better. That one is normal stuff. It's something you do every time you understand.
Okay.
Then, if a program has no loop, no function, and no condition, what kind of program is that?
That's just a normal statics program. Not like a variable assigning to a
Literally
value.
nothing. It's just assigning variable to the value. Exactly. Like it's doing nothing. Doing nothing. Alright, so that is it. That is it for today. Try for today. So on Thursday we'll do our exercise. Complete the ones you got from last week. Then on Thursday we'll finish the exercise. We'll do our exercise for the ones we've learned today on Thursday. So any question, any question, any question. Emma, since your network, should you any question on today?
No, 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 for now. Well, I would like to enter your DM probably tonight.
Ask the question in the group so that other person will
Oh,
learn from it.
okay, okay, no problem.
Alright, so that's the it for today's class. See you guys in the group and on so remember to do your exercise. Jamu, please do your exercise.
Sorry,
Do your
my
exercise.
router just died.